Hey guys, I'm here with CLG SFAT at DreamHack Atlanta. Zach, you've just finished out your pools going into top 64 after this. How are you feeling today?
Feeling comfortable, strong.
Cool. I mean, one of the things that struck me that's weird about this tournament, but also cool, is EVO was just a week ago, and we've got a pretty stacked tournament. Do you think that coming off of EVO is fueling your fire a bit?
Yeah, I mean, I would say so. I'm kind of just like trying to roll the momentum from last week into this week. And luckily, I have like a very similar bracket from last week, too. I have Cyrox, well, projected, Cyrox into Chudat, into HBox again. So it's like almost the exact same bracket. And I think I'm feeling good.
How are you feeling about taking on HBox in a best of 5 with a mandated strict rule set?
Much better. I'm much more confident in the 3 out of 5. Although I do, I'll have to play on Dreamland, but that's fine. And now I researched the coaching rule this time, so this time there's one 30-second timeout in the whole set. So he only gets to talk to Crunch once in the whole set, and we'll see how it goes.
For those of you who don't know, there was a sort of a controversy about SFAT's match versus HBox at EVO last week involving coaching. And, you lost a really narrow set where it looked like HBox did make adaptations sort of because of coaching. You also flubbed a bit in the set. But how does that mentally affect you to have something that it sort of feels like might be out of your control affect the outcome of a set?
I'm definitely not a fan of mid-set coaching because, when you sign up for a tournament, in my opinion, I think, I want to be playing against the pair of eyes that are on the stage with me, and I don't want to be playing against 2 or 3 other pairs of eyes that are just watching without the feeling of pressure to perform, right? And I'm all for meticulous preparation for a set. So, it's I'm not against it because I still could have easily won the set. And I don't know how much the coaching did affect the gameplay because, after the first game, he got the coaching, and then I think I 2 or 3 stalked him on FD, and then we had a really close game 3. And, his clutch on game 3, had nothing to do with the coaching. So ultimately, it was just my B.
My B. I was going to say congrats on 7th at EVO because that's a really wonderful finish. But knowing you, I'm guessing congrats might not quite be the words to say. How are you feeling about your performance overall?
At EVO?
Yeah.
I'm proud of myself that I was able to, beat Chu and have a really close one with HBox. And, probably my most treasured win of that weekend was beating Pupu. Because it's always really tough to play him in tournament, and we were practicing the morning of, and he was just destroying me in every game, and so I was going into that set thinking oh geez, this is gonna be the hardest set I play all day, and it was the last stock, last hit, nail biter. So, but overall proud of my performance, but definitely not satisfied.
Yeah, that sounds like the Zach that I know. Your set with Lucky, it has to be said, was sort of sloppy. It was all over the place. Do you think the fact that EVO was a 2-day tournament and that you were playing sort of all the way through the tournament except for pools matches had anything to do with that, or was it just the nature of the match?
It's probably a little bit of both. It did kind of suck not having the day to cool down and prep for top 8 the next day, but Foxitos are just so hostile. If we had gotten on the big stage on the Mandalay Bay, it could have gone the same way, So I think ultimately, I just need to work on that matchup a lot, and it's definitely my weakest matchup right now.
Who would you say is an exemplar of being good at that matchup in the top 20?
Definitely Leffen. I think Leffen is the best right now. Drug Fox is also really solid. And Lucky. Lucky has his own kind of flair to it. It's not like the other foxes. I don't know. To me, honestly, all the foxes feel really good at it, but that's also just me kind of being in my own head and really not liking the matchup right now. So I'd say those 3 are probably at the top of the list, and Ice is up there too,
You know, in a sea of Fox mains like that, it can be hard to distinguish yourself and to stand out, but you've managed to do it, becoming, you know, one of the, maybe the second premier Fox main after Leffen, who solo mains with your recent rankings and just your recent year in general. How would you say your Fox distinguishes itself from the crowd of other Foxes underneath you who are looking to take your spot?
That's a good question. How do I distinguish myself? You know, I think Melee, one of the reasons why Melee is such a great game is that your personality can show in the gameplay. And not a lot of games have that flexibility to allow that self-expression. And so I think, like, from someone who doesn't know me, you know, it might be really hard to distinguish, like, distinguish the differences between the options that the Foxes choose. But I think the people that know me can definitely tell why I pick those options, you know, and they're not always the standard option or like the options that are most optimal. And you know, I think like I play a lot with my emotions, but I'm trying to find that balance of playing with emotions and also just standard bread and butter.
Do you think it's key to have your emotions in play, or is it just different for every person what the balance is to play at your best?
I think it's definitely different. Overall, I think less emotion is good. I mean, it depends on what emotion you bring to the table, right? Like a competitor can bring frustration and anger and resentment, but they can also bring just like joy and fun, you know, like just like get into it and get involved and kind of like have a dance with your opponent. And I think like that's kind of the way I look at it.
Thinking about emotion and really thoroughly, as it's clear that you have, what's the emotional state that you're looking for going into a match?
Being comfortable. Because when I'm comfortable, you know, I'm not tense, my body's relaxed, and I play my best. I play my best when I'm comfortable. So finding that that balance of comfort in a really small space with a lot of eyes on you and a lot of bodies in the room on a big stage, it's definitely a skill, and it's a skill that everyone that's competing right now and all the top 20, top 30 people are working on. So hopefully today goes a little bit better than last week.
Is that why you have a tendency to taunt when you're down? That you're known for, people call it the SFAT taunt. Does that have to do with emotions? Is that why you do that?
Yeah, no, definitely. It's just a way to like bring myself back into that like comfort feeling and like kind of like let go of like whatever stress I'm holding on to, like let go of the outcome of the match. And it's not really like so much to like taunt my opponent as it is more to just bring myself back into the moment.
That makes sense. All right, last question. The SFAT taunt may be one technique you're known for, but you were just talking about how your emotions, your personality comes through in your gameplay. If you could be known for one technique with Fox that you've sort of started using, what would it be? Or even if you haven't, what's the coolest Fox technique that you want people to think that's the SFAT?
Shoot. There's so many. No, I guess like I think it's really, really sick when Foxes or Falcos just use the like soft reverse and air into like up smash or soft reverse and air and up tilt and up air, you know, like anything with soft reverse and air, like Craigasm.
That's sort of what I thought you would say. All right. Thanks so much, Zach. Any last words you want to say? Shout outs to your sponsors or anything?
Yeah, no, shout outs to CLG. CLG fam is amazing. Shout outs to the boys, the 650 boys. Shout outs to my parents, my brothers, everyone to support me, all the fans. Just thank you guys.
Cool. All right, thanks so much. Thanks. You can follow Zach here at DreamHack Atlanta this weekend. And for more content on Melee, other esports, follow this YouTube channel. Thanks, guys.